Welcome to Unstruct AI, where we dissect complex news events. Today, we're diving into Reddit's lawsuit against Anthropic for alleged data scraping. This has major implications for user data and the AI industry. Let's get into it.
Thanks, Sam. From a data science perspective, this case touches on the core ethics of training AI models. How do we balance innovation with individual rights? What are the implications for user privacy if AI companies are allowed to scrape data without consent?
It's also a business play, Jordan. Reddit needs to protect its IP and revenue streams. They've been cutting deals with companies like Google and OpenAI for training data. Anthropic is a direct competitor, so this lawsuit is a shot across the bow. The stakes are incredibly high.
It's frustrating as a user. I share content on Reddit expecting it to be used within that ecosystem, not scraped to train a chatbot I never agreed to. It feels like a violation of trust, almost a bait and switch.
Riley, that's a powerful point about user expectations. Let's dig into the specifics. Jordan, can you break down Reddit's legal argument and what makes this case unique compared to other AI scraping lawsuits? What data do they have?
Reddit isn't claiming copyright infringement. Instead, they're arguing Anthropic violated their terms of service by using automated bots to scrape data after being explicitly asked not to. They're also claiming unfair competition because Anthropic didn't get a license like other AI firms. It's about the method of data acquisition more than the data itself.
Which could be a smart move legally. Proving copyright infringement with AI training data is messy. Proving someone ignored your robots.txt file and user agreement is much more straightforward.
But what about the personal data angle? Reddit claims Anthropic intentionally trained on user data without consent. Could GDPR or CCPA come into play here?
That's tricky. It depends on whether the data is truly anonymized and how personal data is defined. It's not clear-cut, but it's a pressure point for Reddit, especially with European users.
And it's about control. Reddit wants to be the gatekeeper. They've struck licensing deals with Google and OpenAI. They want to control how AI companies use their data and, more importantly, get paid for it.
So if Anthropic had asked nicely and paid up, would this lawsuit be happening?
Almost certainly not. It's about the money, honey. Reddit needs to show Wall Street they can protect their IP and generate revenue from AI.
It also puts pressure on Anthropic. They're already battling music publishers over copyright issues. This Reddit suit adds to the legal headaches and forces them to negotiate.
So it's breach of terms of service, unfair competition, and the potential for privacy violations. Riley, from an engineering perspective, how easy is it to actually prevent scraping? Is Reddit doing enough?
It's a cat and mouse game. You can use robots.txt, IP blocking, rate limiting, CAPTCHAs, but determined scrappers will always find ways around it. It requires constant vigilance and adaptation. There's no foolproof solution.
And Anthropic claims they did respect robots.txt after initial complaints. Reddit alleges they ignored it and kept scraping. Proving that in court will be a technical challenge. It'll be about analyzing server logs and bot behavior.
That kind of data is gold in AI training. Reddit's comments are a massive, constantly updated trove of human language, opinions, and discussions. That's why AI companies are so eager to get their hands on it.
They even identified specific subreddits as high-quality AI training data, like gardening, history, and relationship advice. Talk about targeted scraping.
It's also worth noting that Anthropic has argued that their training methods qualify as fair use because they make copies for statistical analysis. But Reddit is specifically avoiding copyright claims, focusing on TOS violations.
Because that's the more defensible position legally. Ethically, that's a different debate.
Exactly. So Alex, what's the potential impact on Anthropic if they lose this case? Beyond the financial hit,
It could set a major precedent. It could force all AI companies to get explicit licenses for any data they use for training. That would dramatically increase the cost of training AI models and create a huge advantage for companies that already have massive data sets, like Meta or Google.
It could also stifle innovation. If smaller AI startups can't afford the data licensing fees, they might not be able to compete with the big players.
Or they might turn to even shadier data sources. I mean, if Anthropic, the ethical AI company, is accused of this, what are the less scrupulous ones doing?
A dark side of AI training for sure. Jordan, if Anthropic does need to find new data sources, what are some alternatives to scraping?
They could use synthetic data generated by AI, but that raises its own set of biases and ethical concerns. They could also focus on curated datasets, but those are often smaller and more domain-specific.
Or they could go the meta route and train on their own user data. But that requires owning a massive social media platform, which most AI companies don't.
There's also the crowdsourcing approach. Get users to voluntarily contribute their data in exchange for some kind of reward. But that requires transparency and trust, which is something the AI industry hasn't exactly excelled at.
Trust being the key word there. Okay, let's zoom out. Alex, what are the broader implications for the future of AI and data usage?
This lawsuit is a sign that the Wild West days of AI data scraping are coming to an end. There's going to be more regulation, more licensing agreements, and more scrutiny over how AI models are trained. The free lunch is over.
And that's probably a good thing. We need to find a sustainable model that respects individual rights and fosters innovation. This case could be a catalyst for that.
Hopefully, it'll also force AI companies to be more transparent about their data sources and how they're using our information. We deserve to know what's going on under the hood.
Transparency, user rights, and fair compensation, those seem to be the key takeaways. Before we move on, a quick message from our sponsors. This episode was brought to you by Unstruct AI, creating the most trusted AI news analysis platform with a focus on the human cost. After all, progress without humanity isn't progress at all. Welcome back. We've been discussing Reddit's lawsuit against Anthropic. Now, let's shift gears slightly. What can Reddit users do right now to protect their data?
Honestly, it's tough. Reddit's public content policy basically says they can do whatever they want with your data. Deleting your posts might help, but there's no guarantee Anthropic hasn't already scraped them.
You can also try to delete your account, but again, that might not remove your data from existing training sets.
The real solution needs to be systemic. We need laws that give users more control over their data and force AI companies to be transparent about their training practices. It's not just about Reddit, it's about the entire internet.
So, a bit of a grim picture for now. Any closing thoughts on the potential long-term impacts of this case?
This could be a watershed moment. If Reddit wins, it'll force AI companies to rethink their entire business model. It could lead to a more equitable distribution of the benefits of AI.
Or it could backfire. It could make AI development more expensive and concentrate power in the hands of a few tech giants. The future is uncertain.
Regardless of the outcome, I hope it sparks a broader conversation about the ethics of AI and the importance of putting humans first. We can't let technology run roughshod over our rights and expectations.
A powerful reminder. Riley, Jordan, Alex, thank you for shedding light on this complex issue. It's clear that the Reddit Anthropic lawsuit is more than just a legal battle. It's a fight for the future of AI.
Thanks for having me, Sam. This is a conversation we need to keep having.
It's a battle for the soul of AI, in a way. And it's far from over.
Here's hoping it turns into a future where technology actually benefits everyone, not just a few companies.
That was Unstruct AI, where we cut through the hype and get to the heart of the story.